So I will show you how to create this journal so you can recreate it if you like to. So just watch the rest of the video. So this is a finished journal. So it says My Journeys on this self-made book plate. It's something like traveler's notebook, so TN size. This is the closure, an elastic band. Then these are elastic strings and you can put in your signatures. And these are pockets and tuck spots. And if one signature is filled up or you don't like it, then you can just change them. This is the idea. So they sit in here like this. And you can take this book onto your journeys. And it has much of growing space. For the traveler's notebook, I want to use this A5 sheet of paper. And some leftover cardstock from food packaging, or you can use the backing of a paper pad as well. So I just eyeballed it, and I want my notebook to be this size. So I think it's the standard TN size. I'm not sure, but you can do whatever you want. So this will be the size of my inserts. So let's create the cover in this size, a little bit wider than the inserts, so that the inserts can sit very well in the cover. So this will be 10 by 21 centimeters. So I will do the cover a little bit wider, as I said before. So I made the cover 1 centimeter more in the height and in the length. So this insert will be 10 by 21 centimeter and my cover will be 11 by 22 centimeters. My insert is 10 by 21, my cover is 11 by 22 centimeters and the spine is 2.5 centimeters. So now the next step will be gluing these three cover parts onto some fabric, and I want to use brown faux leather fabric. So this is my fabric and I will use my all-time favorite and trusted Fix or Fabri-Tac glue. Glue these pieces on, leave a little gap from 5 millimeters, leave some fabric hanging over here, maybe 2 centimeters. I just eyeball it and then put these edges around. I will show you. So leave a little gap of 5 millimeters. All three pieces are glued on. So this will be our cover. So now you can glue on the edges and this leftover flaps, or you can sew them in. I will try to sew them in. Now I paper clipped my fabric onto my cover. So this will be my cover. So just double check if the insert will fit. Yes, it will fit nicely. So now I will try if my sewing machine will be able to sew around, but I think so because this is not so stable and I think my sewing machine will get through these edges. So I will be back in a moment. I sewed all around the edges and I sewed on twice to give the journal a bit more structure, and I sewed around the spine as well. To make this stay in place is not a right set because it's glued down, it will stay in place, but just for a bit more to look at. And I had this fabric hanging over a bit, so I decided, because I did not want to glue it on, so I sewed on a second time and I just love how it turned out. So now we will do the inside, and if you want to add a closure, this would be the perfect moment for this. So I decide I want a closure right in the middle, so just an elastic string. I will put a hole into here, put my elastic string into, so that it will hang out from here and you can close your journal like this, so in this direction. So I decided to use a little bit of extra cardstock just to strengthen the not the spine, but the hole for my elastic closure. Then punch a hole through your cover and thread your elastic closure from the outside to the inside and tie a knot on the inside. I just thought it would be possible to punch a second hole, so maybe I will do this, so that not all the strength or all the tightness will be on one point. So now you see it would have been better to put the holes near each other and not on the top and the bottom, but I think it doesn't matter, it will work out and you can just do what you want for your own journal. So I think this will be a good amount, so you will have enough growing space for your journal. And the thing is, when you put two holes for your elastic string, so one at the top and one at the bottom or near each other, it doesn't matter at all, the string cannot go anywhere. So let's say we would already have covered up our inside and this would be our closure. I want to cover up the inside by now, so that the knot will not be this visible. It will be there will be something over here. But let's say that you attach the closure at the last point, to say so, and you would pull on this thing. Your string could go through the hole, so it cannot happen by now. But these are only some little things you have to think over when you create a journal. So now for the inside, because this should be a traveler's notebook and travel themed, I will look if I have some cardboard. I think I have some cardboard or cardstock with travel themes on it. And I will put some fabric over here just because I like it and because fabric is more flexible than scrapbooking paper. So this is the way I do it. I did not find what I was looking for initially, but I think this would be very cool. So this says take your time, and this is kind of map of some city, central business district, city hospital, and so on. This is the river, so it does not have a name, and they are not the same color, but I don't mind. So I will cut them to size and ink the edges a bit. I cut this wrong, so this can happen too. Maybe I can reuse this, but I think, no, the back side I don't want to use, but I think I will just use another piece, so maybe a second piece of this one, or maybe this. This says, spending today complaining about yesterday won't make tomorrow any better. Maybe I can use this one. I decided to use two pieces of this map and they belong together. I just have to trim them a little bit because I made them the same measurement than the cover is. So I have to trim them down a tiny little bit. And then I will glue them down and glue some fabric onto here. So you can see here, this is trimmed down. This is not trimmed yet. So this is a perfect size. So that you have a tiny little bit of space on all sides. Even on this size, it does not have to be, but for me it's okay. Oh, just wanted to show you. So when you close the journal, that this piece of inner cover will not go around here. So it could be, but I don't like it. I just like to use some fabric over here. So I have to decide. I could have let this be a tiny little bit wider, or I could glue it down right onto the edge, but these are all slightly differences. You can use whatever you want. I just wanted to show you the two differences between this piece and this piece. The inked edges gives it a bit more older look, and I think it's a bit more finished in my opinion. You can use some paper clips to make it stay in place better while drying. So Fabric-Fix or Fabri-Tac glue is drying very, very quick. I am just concentrating on the edges, as you can see. I just found this piece of tea-dyed or coffee-dyed fabric. I think it's kind of a cotton fabric, so maybe from a tablecloth or something like this. And it has the perfect size, so I did not have to trim it down. I love these frayed edges. So it will be possible, it will be necessary to have this fabric hang over a tiny little bit on either side. I think this will be enough. I always try to put no glue into the gaps. It would not be a big thing. Some crafters do this, but I don't like it. I think the spine gets too unflexible when having glue into the spine. So for my opinion, I don't like it. And I will smoosh this this glue out, just finding my cap, with my finger, or if you have a silicone, how is it called, paintbrush. Yes, silicone paintbrush, it would be perfect as well. A usual paintbrush would not work out because it would get stuck together, so the paintbrush would not be usable anymore. So let's just place our fabric right into the middle. Let's see. Yes, I think that's good. Maybe a tiny little bit more to this side. So you have to work very quick when you use your fabric tack or fabric fix glue, which is the same, just the other name for it, because it dries so quick. And our knot is covered up too, not perfectly. You will be able to see it and feel it a bit, but I don't mind, I don't care. So and I smoosh the glue out with my finger so that I have no glue seepage through this fabric. It just occurs on your fabric or your paper, how thick or thin it is. So as you may remember, I did not smoosh out my glue on the outside cover because you will have no glue seepage through here and no glue seepage through this paper. So I know my materials I use today for this journal. But this fabric, you would be able to see the glue lines, and I don't like it. And again, I will not put any glue into the spine if I can manage it, or into the gap. So now work your fabric into your gap using your bone folder. Or you can use the not sharp side of the scissors, or maybe a butter knife, also not sharp side, anything you have at hand. Same for the other side. Don't let this sewing clip stay on this cover too much time, for a too long time. So maybe you can see it here. They leave a little bit of marks. So not much, but if you don't like it, just let them stay in place for a few minutes for the glue to dry. It depends on the glue and the materials you use. You could use something like this, like a cheap textile glue as well, but I don't know if this will stay forever, to say so. And double-sided tape as well, I would not use it. I don't use it on my projects because I think it will not hold for many years. Maybe it stays in place for a few years, but not for the long time I wanted to. So this is why I use these glues, and it's no paid advertisement. I'm just so overwhelmed from this glue, and I like it so much, and I use it in every project I create, in every junk journal project. So this is our cover so far. You can decorate it further if you like. I'm thinking about it, and this is our inside. This is our closure. So I think I will I think I will do something with this cover. So using my distress oxide again, and just distress the edges so that the book looks a bit more older and used. If you don't like the fabric hanging out like here, you can just snip it off. Just use your scissors, but I like this look very, very much, especially with this frayed edges and this tea-dyed fabric. I don't know if it shows up very much in the camera, but I just see from near, I see this tiny little bit of color on the edges, and it gives the journal a little bit more depth and a little bit more something. I think you will be able to see it over here, and this will dry. I concentrate a bit more on the edges because a book will look older and used on the edges at first. So maybe, oops, this is old. So maybe you have an old book, then look how it looks when it gets older and a bit dirty and used. The edges will be the first part to get a bit darker or lighter. It depends on the material. So I try to do it on this cover as well. I think in the camera you cannot see it this well as I said before, but in real life it is visible just a bit. And this is what we want to achieve. And because I used a lighter thread, not this brown, so I love to have a color which stands out when I create journals. So this is why I use this grayish tone. And of course you will be able to see this brown color on this grayish thread very well. So these are the tiny little things that gives your journals a little bit of extra something. You don't have to do this much, just a bit of inking the edges. And this is how your hand looks when you use Distress Oxide, but you can just wash it off. I glued on a little piece of tea-dyed fabric on this piece of paper. This is the same paper as I have on the inside. And I want to glue it down over here. And I will stamp journal or journey or my journey onto this. And put some of this breadth in the edges to give it a bit more of a finished look. And then glue this plate onto the cover. I decided to stamp my journeys, so I will put removable signatures into here, so she can use it for all of her journeys, and she can remove the signatures when she starts a new journey. So all 4 breadths are applied. And now I will glue on this plate onto my cover. Next step is punching 2 holes, here and here, and here and here, and then setting some eyelets. Then I will put in an elastic string so that I have 2 elastic strings on the inside, and I will do it this way that the elastic string is just visible here and here, not on the back, so that it cannot get stuck when you have it into your pocket. This closure will be wrapped around like this. So of course it can get stuck in the pocket, but a little bit is okay. But I don't want the signatures to be here so that they can get stuck, and I wanted to make removable signatures. So this is why I will do some elastic strings. I will show you in a few moments. Just let this dry for a few moments more. And I want to put on some golden metal edges, golden corner protectors, golden metal corner protectors to say so, on these edges, just for the look of it. So eyelets are set. So now for the elastic bands from the inside. I saw this technique on YouTube, and I will link the video down below in the info box. So let's see, I start on the outside, go all the way through here, and then not in this direction as I would do usually with a usual thread with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, but back to the spine so that you have only this little string here. So let's see. The same here, back to the inside. Oh, this was way too much thread, or too much elastic. So now we'll strengthen it a bit, or tighten it a bit, and tie a knot. Now I want to add some of this metal corner protectors. I found this little label, which is out of some fabric, and it says mit Liebe gemacht, so made with love, with these cute little birds on it. And I want to sew this on the back side. So I will be back in a moment. So label is sewed on. And I will just ink this part a bit because it's a bit white now. Now I'm thinking about attaching some pockets, maybe a little pocket here, like a tuck spot, so open here and here, and a side-loading pocket here. So if the person I will give this to will want to put some things into from her journeys. So let's see. So now while this is drying for a few moments, I will put this aside. And here I have the signatures I want to use. Oh, let me adjust the light a bit. Okay, I hope this is better. So these are the signatures. I have 6 signatures and they all contain some different papers. So tea-dyed papers with some patterns or without patterns, lined paper, dotted paper, grid paper, colored paper. So this is yellow, I have green, pink, blue. This is a printable, and they have different papers in it. So here's a bit of pink paper, and this is paper I bought, and so on. And they all, they all are the same size. So they are, let's see, they are 10 centimeters. So as my cover is, but they are only 19.5 centimeters, not 20, because the difference between the the top and the bottom hole is 20 centimeters. But with 19.5, it fits perfectly without getting stuck here, without getting damaged on the edges. And yes, I need you in a moment. And they all have this this kind of papers as outside. So now what I want to do is, these are 10 papers, so it gives you 40 pages front and back. Now I want to use my punching tool and just eyeball where to punch the hole. So one in the middle, one at the bottom, maybe 2 centimeters from the bottom, and one maybe 2 centimeters from the top. And it doesn't matter. If you have directional pages, you have to watch out which is the top and which is the bottom, but you can punch the holes where you want because your cover already has holes, but not for binding in, so they don't have to be the same space. I only want to bind together these signatures so that you have 6 little bound together signatures, so 6 little inserts. And the cover has elastic inserts, so it doesn't matter in this case. So just punch a hole maybe here. Oops. Two centimeters, just eyeballing from the bottom, and 2 or 2.5 centimeters from the top. Then I'm going to use some of my embroidery floss and my beeswax. And I will run the embroidery floss 3 or 4 times through my beeswax so that my thread is waxed. And then I will bind together these signatures or these inserts using this 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So you need a thread 3 times the length of your signature. Then run it through your beeswax. 1, 2, 3. Yes, I think maybe a 4th time. You will feel when it is enough. So that's it. Our thread is waxed. Now thread your needle. Then you begin on the middle hole from the inside. Leave a little tail hanging out. Then to the top or the bottom hole, it doesn't matter. Pull the thread tight, but leave your tail out here. Go to the last hole. Oops. And again back to the middle hole. Pull your thread tight, not so tight that your signature will rip or bend too much, but tight so that your pages stay as you want them to. So you have to leave one end of the tail, one end of the thread between one end on the left side and one end on the right side from this middle thread. Pull it tight and bind a knot. You can do a square knot or a triple knot. Okay, this was a bit, this was a huge amount of thread, I see. So then cut it off, and that's it. This is your first signature, your first inlay, ready to be put into your journal. You can decorate it further if you want, but I just wanted let it be as it is. So it's plain, but you have something to look, and when you turn the page, you have something to look at. So this is grid, this is dotted, and so on and so on. So that the person who will get this journal have something to look at, but it's not overflowing. So she can put in her memories of her journeys, of her holidays as she like. And if you don't like these pages sticking out, I don't mind, I just like the look of it, but you can use your ruler. So I have a metal ruler and I highly recommend it. And then you would use your craft knife and cut this apart in slowly and with just going slowly. But as I said, I don't mind this sticking out a bit. I just like it, so I will let it be as it is. So I will get ready with my other signatures, and then I will show you the whole journal in once. So this is a finished journal. So it says My Journeys on this self-made book plate. This little charm says Made with Love. It has golden corner protector, edges, metal edges I've sewn around. It's something like traveler's notebook, so TN size. The spine is 2.5 centimeters. Yes, I think 2.5 centimeters. I put in 4 eyelets, and I will show you in a moment why I did this way. This is the back with this cute label which says Mit Liebe gemacht, so made with love in German. This is the closure, an elastic band, elastic closure. On the inside I have nothing yet. I will show you in a moment what I have. Then these are elastic strings, and you can put in your signatures. And these are pockets and tuck spots. So this is a side-loading pocket, and this is a tuck spot which is open on 2 sides. so you can tuck in some memories from your journeys. And I made 6 signatures, and they all have this, how do you call it, maps? I don't know, is it called maps? On the outside, as outside cover to say so. Every single signature has 10 pieces of paper, so it gives you 40 pages front and back per signature. And if one signature is filled up or you don't like it, then you can just change them. This is the idea. So they sit in here like this. And you can take this book onto your journeys, and it has much of growing space if you would like to put something in. So something from your journeys, some cards or anything you want. And I use different papers, so tea-dyed papers, dotted papers, lined papers, grid paper is somewhere, some colored pages, tea-dyed paper. I think I already said this. So no colored pages into here. This is a printable. I think I have some, yes, here. Here, for example, pink pages. I have green and yellow, and this page, this is a paper I bought on Amazon.